life for people to know that you still exist in the world. It's very, very important to understand your work is a part of your life. It's not your entire life. Best part about Google is that there are and you're listening to Dee Talks. Welcome back to another episode. And I think every time I welcome you back to an episode, I have to give a life update because it's been a while since I posted. And I honestly do not remember last video kab gayi thi. So currently update, it's June 2024, and that means that I'm almost about to complete 1 year at Google. I'm about to complete 1 year of corporate majdoori. I'm about to complete 1 year of moving out of my house. So I shifted in Bangalore on 19th, and I started my job on 26th. आज 8th June है, so I think in 10 days it'll be 1 year of moving out, and in 20 days I'll be officially not a noogler. I mean, I'm not a noogler anymore. 6 months में वो हो जाता है, but still मुझे एक साल हो जाएगा. I'll have a Google versary, 1 year Google versary. So that is crazy. I actually just met a friend today, and we were discussing. We both were one of the earliest ones to move out because our jobs started early, and yeah, I mean, it's a weird feeling honestly. Like कुछ aspects में पता चलता है कि हाँ साल हो चुका है, पर कुछ aspects में लगता है कि time runs so fast. Like I know when I miss home when I am working कि मुझे पता है मुझे एक साल हो चुका है, but in other aspects like taking responsibilities या overall जैसे जितना फास्ट टाइम निकला है, इट फील्स लाइक आई जस्ट गॉट आउट ऑफ कॉलेज, आई जस्ट ग्रेजुएटेड एंड आई स्टिल फील लाइक अ फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट, जबकि मुझे एक साल हो चुका है ग्रेजुएट हुए. सो दैट इज लाइक, I don't know. That's a very different, very weird feeling, and I don't think I'll ever feel like ठीक है मुझे time हो चुका है. It always feels like अच्छा मैं तो just अभी graduate हुई हूँ. So I was talking to one of my friends and I was telling her about someone who's doing an intern, and I was like एक साल ही तो छोटा है उनसे. And then I realized कि नहीं, I graduated last year, and that person just came out of third year today, like now. So I am 2 years older to that person. That means I am quite senior now. There's going to be a fresh batch of new grads coming in Google, coming in other companies very, very soon. So I'm not the youngest one to arrive. I'm not the fresh grad. I am someone who holds a little senior position compared to others, which is too much. Which is like क्या हो रहा है. um so yeah, um it's a weird feeling. It's a very different feeling. Another life update, I am no longer a part of MLH. I mean, I have made a lot of content for them, not content in specific. I've done a lot of lives for them. In every global hack week I was a part of a lot of hackathons, and as much as I loved it, it took a lot of time, and I wanted to focus more on myself when I have some free time from work, because my work has gotten hectic. मतलब मैं जब तक MLH कर रही थी, I was college student, and initially 6 months of Google was easier because there was less load, there was less work, there were less responsibilities, and मतलब कि थोड़ा independence in a project कम था. तो इट वाज लाइक कि अच्छा इतना हेक्टिक नहीं है, और आई कैन एनी टाइम लॉग आउट, एनी टाइम टेक आउट टाइम फॉर other things. As time started passing by, my job got hectic, and currently बहुत ज़्यादा hectic है. So I am actually also struggling with a lot of work-life balance, which is going to be one of the topics of the video. I'm going to talk about burnouts, work-life balance. I've always been very honest in my content कि if I'm not feeling well, if I'm not feeling good mentally, if I am facing burnouts, or what I do for that. And currently, I think it's been a while that I've spoken on any social media platform. I am not that active on Twitter anymore. I am not that active on LinkedIn anymore. I rarely post on Instagram, and I keep forgetting to edit videos which I shoot. So coming to that, I've also hired an editor. So I think things will be easy, and I would be able to put out more content now. What I was saying is that with time, things got very, very hectic, and currently I am at a stage where once I log out of work on a Friday evening, I do not want to think of more work, think of more technical stuff, or have shifts dedicated to hackathons. I just feel like that time I could use for some content that I love to make, and rest of the time I could either just chill out or spend time with friends, or specifically just complete my sleep. So as much as I loved being a part of MLH, I mean, it was something which brought a lot of happiness to me. Traveling to hackathons always felt it gave a very good adrenaline rush. Like last hackathon I went to was in Chennai, and traveling alone to Chennai. I have traveled to Chennai with my parents before, but this time I was traveling alone. I take care of things myself, and with that, I mean, it just is a very nice independent feeling. And moreover, if even if I am traveling across states, I don't have to pay for it. So that was also a fun aspect of it. But I think I just feel like it's not something I can continue on anymore. So I took a leave from MLH in March, and I mean, I still feel like that's a part which is missing. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed keeping in touch with AR even if I was working. And that touch in AR was because of MLH, because I used to make a lot of live streams and a lot of sessions for AR and certain small projects, or work on a new game development project, which was all coming from that. But I think there's a time for things. There's always an end date. There's always a duration for some sort of work, and I think that was it for me at MLH. So if I feel like I have time in future and I really want to get back into communities again, I may step back into MLH, or I may step back into something with a similar agenda, or in an ed tech uh, on the side, which I loved to do before. But I think currently I'm not at the stage to dedicate more time to work, or dedicate more time to doing things for other initiatives. I want to focus on more content for myself on weekends, or I just want to focus on sleeping. So yeah, I had to leave MLH in that case. And coming with that, like when MLH got hectic, it was just not that, it was my job which was getting really hectic too. And if you've heard my podcasts before, if you've seen me before, if you've taken any of my sessions before, you know that I get consumed by work. And even if it's not something which I own, if I'm working on something, if I'm stuck at something, if something's going on in my head, I just get consumed by it, and I cannot stop myself from burning out, which has happened recently. And I did flag that to my manager that actually I'm just getting a little burnt out. I think there are a lot of things that are coming on my plate, and almost every other week I used to work till 2-3 a.m. in the night on a Friday night. There was one Friday night where I had to make a 6 a.m. submission on Saturday, because there was some things which weren't working, and something which was supposed to be submitted that week itself. So in that case, I mean, work got really really hectic, and it started affecting my health, started affecting my mental health. I even considered going back to therapy for once, because I was just not able to handle the pressure. And I am someone who wants to live by work life balance, and that is something which I had mentioned in one of my podcasts before, that I'm going in for a corporate job because I want that 9 to 5. I want a balance so that I can focus more on my content, and I can focus on creative sides as well. But I mean, as a software engineer, anyone who's working currently, who's a professional engineer, they would know that there's no such thing as work life balance. What happens is, if we complete our tasks on time, then you're done. Otherwise, you keep doing it until sometimes you get stuck in some bugs, sometimes you have some submission, sometimes you get a late night page for a bug which is supposed to be fixed, otherwise it's breaking production, and things like that, which keep happening. And sometimes they come to a point when it just consumes you a lot. So I felt like there was a burnout. I told my manager that I think, can we like put some load off of me and try to balance certain things, because I feel like things are getting very very hectic. And I think I took a leave because of burnout. And then even then there was some bug or some issue that came up, because of which I had to work 2-3 hours on a day of leave as well. It does not seem healthy, but I mean, things are much much better now once I pointed out that I'm not okay with this much workload. And then I realized that you actually have to, I mean, inform your manager, inform your lead that I can't take these many things up, I don't have bandwidth to do that. And I sometimes struggle to say no, which I know is important. I am someone who's a people pleaser. I am someone who wants to excel at everything. I have proven that in my school life. I have proven that in my college life. I have proven that by bagging a job. Now I want that even in that job, I prove that I am a great employee. I'm a very good fit, and I just do things very well, and you can rely on me. And within that process, sometimes I tend to not say no, and I realized it when it all came up to my head. And also there was things which I worked on. So whenever there's something like you have an ownership of something, the bug will automatically come to you. So yeah, there are things which get hectic, and I did talk to leads in my team, and I talked to them that ठीक है ये pressure ऐसे ऐसे आ रहा है, so how can we handle that, and we did take a lot of load off of my head. So now I think things are normal, things are much better. एंड अब वो मुझे लग रहा है कि थोड़ा बहुत वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस रिस्टोर हो रहा है, बिकॉज एक पॉइंट आ गया था व्हेन इट जस्ट फेल्ट लाइक कि मैं सिर्फ काम कर रही हूँ, मैं और कुछ नहीं कर रही. एंड आई एम ऑल्सो हैंडलिंग इन इंटर्न राइट नाउ, so there's a project for that intern as well. And it's expected कि जब तुम्हारे पास intern होगा तो they'll come for questions, and they'll you're basically helping train them to be a software engineer. So it is expected कि तुम्हारा काफ़ी ज़्यादा bandwidth उसमें भी जाएगा ही. And it did. And वो सब एक साथ, because I had two projects which I was working on. Then I had an intern, so there was another automatic project. And in the very beginning weeks of an intern, there's onboarding related tasks. There are a lot of questions. You have to help them a lot. You have to give them a lot of attention for at least a week or two to get them settled in, to understand things. And then once they're settled, once they know certain things, they can start working on project. And it, I mean, it settles a bit, but it's still not settled until the internship is over and you have that load off of you. So yeah, basically, I've been into Google for a year now. I mean, I'm about to complete a year around 20 days. I am handling an intern, which is crazy. I mean, when I got asked to manage or mentor an intern, it was like, I still feel like I was just an intern some time back, but it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since I've been an intern at Google, and मैं 2022 में intern थी. 2024 चल रहा है. Again, that just scares the shit out of me कि कितना time, इतनी जल्दी क्यों time हो गया. So yeah. Talking about work-life balance, talking about burnouts, there is a huge tendency to happen. There's a huge tendency for them to happen. There's a huge tendency कि तुम्हें कोई एक प्रोजेक्ट में ओनरशिप चाहिए, प्रूफ चाहिए, या ये दिखाने कि तुम्हें जल्दी प्रमोशन चाहिए. So you're pulling in a lot of work, and that can lead to burnout. So I mean, speaking from a year of experience, this is not for interns. If you have just joined a company as an intern, कर लो काम. तो महीने जितना काम खींच के कर सकते हो उतना काम खींच के करो. But for someone who's just started their job, for someone who's been in for a while and are feeling the same thing, I think it's best to reach out to one of your leads, reach out to someone senior in your team, and just talk to them कि क्या चल रहा है और what are you feeling, and just, I mean, figure out priorities कि कितना काम करना है और कितना नहीं करना. A huge part of work life balance is to have your priorities straight. And for, I think, a year, I was trying to be the no to do list person, like going with the flow. And I think I talked about that in my last episode, maybe. But I think I'm back to sticking to do list, sticking to a planned routine, because उसके बिना I don't think वो possible होता है. I don't think मेरे से manage भी होगा. If I want to continue content, there are reels, there is YouTube, there's podcast, sometimes LinkedIn and Twitter as well. I was doing this mentorship session where one of my juniors said, just tweet I am alive for people to know that you still exist in the world, because you've just gotten Gaia suddenly. And I know I did. I have no explanation of why I did that. It's just I'm figuring things out one step at a time. And I thought कि एक साल में let's just grab as much as I can to understand what it's like to be सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर कैसे कॉर्पोरेट में सर्वाइव करना है, कैसे प्रोफेशनली चीज़ें हैंडल करनी है. And now I think I'm at a stage where I can go back to balancing a couple of things. And best part about Google is that there are a lot of cultural clubs, which is something like societies in college. So मैं कॉलेज में तो फैशन सोसाइटी में थी, which I loved and adored to be a part of. But in office, there's nothing like a fashion society. So I decided to join the dance club. And I recently performed like एक महीना पहले, recently नहीं है, 9th में perform किया था मैंने. 9th में we performed for International Dance Day. And it was a very fun performance. I had recently posted a video on Instagram, vlogging a little bit of part of my day before I ended up for the performance. And performance की कुछ clips थी where I did cartwheels as well. And now we are practicing again to perform for Pride. So I mean that's a really fun part because 4 बजे मुझे पता है कि मेरे को अपनी डेस्क से उठना है और मुझे जुम्बा रूम या योगा रूम जाना है ऑफिस में. एंड आई हैव टू डांस फॉर 1.5 hour, हैव फन, गो बैक, मेक टी, गैदर सम strength back in me, and then get back to work for an hour or two and then log out. जनरली क्या होता था कि मैं 8-9 बजे लॉग आउट नहीं कर पाती थी, मतलब कि बिकॉज आई एम टेकिंग अ ब्रेक इन बिटवीन, तो आई लॉग इन अराउंड 6 or 7, देन 1-2 घंटा काम करती हूँ, विच इज़ नॉर्मल. बट बीच में कुछ कुछ केसेस में होता था कि मैं वो ब्रेक ही नहीं आ रहा था. I would work till 10, 11, 12. This week, that happened just for one day because there was a bug which needed to be fixed. That is why I worked till late at night. But on rest of the days, I did not work till late. I actually ended work on Friday at 4 o'clock. मतलब मैं 4 o'clock डांस के लिए गई, उसके बाद मैंने लैपटॉप खोला नहीं. And I'm very very proud of doing that. It's very very important to understand कि your job, your work is a part of your life. It's not your entire life. And कभी कभी I am Arjun of ZNMD, but फिर मेरे को एकदम ही बीच में रियलाइज होता है कि आई डोंट वांट टू बी द बिफोर अर्जुन, आई वांट टू बी द आफ्टर अर्जुन व्हेन ही मेट Katrina, when he met Lela. So I want to be that Arjun. I don't want to be the Arjun who was just working and obsessed about work and early retirement. Okay, well, I want everything. I want to be the corporate girl boss. I want to do really well in life. I want to earn a lot. I want to relax and all of that stuff. But I also want to make sure that I live life. मतलब कि अगर अभी नहीं तो कब. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I am back to those episodes which I did when I did not have a video podcast, because I think I enjoyed the last episode, but also talking about moving out and मतलब कि मैंने क्या कहाँ से सामान लिया या कैसे सेटअप किया was fine. But I think the essence of the podcast was when I just used to sit and talk ऐसे randomly about things that are going on. And मतलब ऐसे कुछ कुछ टॉपिक्स अपने लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस से इनकॉर्पोरेट करना, लाइक बर्नआउट्स, मेंटल हेल्थ, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, मैनिफेस्टेशन और ऐसी ऐसी चीज़ें. दिस इज़ वॉट हैड सेट माई पॉडकास्ट अपार्ट. एंड आई थिंक लास्ट एपिसोड में वो वाला टच मिस हो गया था. सो आई होप यू एन्जॉय दिस वन. डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक, कमेंट, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माई चैनल. एंड आई विल सी यू इन माई नेक्स्ट एपिसोड. टिल देन, गुड बाय.